Here's the truth about business. We're all in sales. Often, even if we recognize that truth, though, we fail to understand the important link between the success of our own inner life and the success of our sales and ultimately our business. Well, my guest today is Ryan Snow. He's co-author of The Miracle Morning for Salespeople with Hal Elrod, and he's going to show us how to increase our level of sales and success by upping the quality of our inner life and our own personal development. It's coming up on the One Simple Thing podcast.
It's time to build a better business by building a better you. This is One Simple Thing.
Hey, so glad you could join me today. I'm Dave Kirby. We've got a great show ahead here as I talk to Ryan Snow, the co-author of the book, The Miracle Morning for Salespeople, the fastest way to take yourself and your sales to the next level. He co-authored it with a former guest on our program, the great Hal Elrod, who wrote the original Miracle Morning book. And I'm really looking forward to diving into this. It's all about how your own level of sales and success is directly tied to the person you are inside. And we're going to be moving forward and expanding on that over the next couple of episodes. So I hope you'll join me. In the meantime, let's get started. Ryan, thanks for being here today on the One Simple Thing podcast.
Yeah, Deb. Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, the Miracle Morning for Salespeople, the fastest way to take yourself and your sales to the next level. This is the topic that I don't think we've covered in this way before. So can you kind of describe, just based on the title of the book or the content of the book, kind of where you're going with that title and what we're going to get in the book?
Definitely. Yeah, so it actually came from Hal Elrod. He wrote the original book, The Miracle Morning.
Hal's been a guest on this show, too.
Awesome. Hal's great. And so I had him as a coach, and I was in his group coaching program, and I had learned the way of the Miracle Morning and basically the morning routine practice, which we can dive into a little bit later. But I wanted something that I could immediately turn around and use to develop my business. And so Hal and I got to talking and just said, hey, man, there's a way to take this personal development morning routine and not only have it help develop myself as a human and as a family member, but also to immediately take those same things and turn it around and help grow my business.
So you made the connection then that your level of sales, your success in sales is kind of directly connected with the level of success you feel inside of yourself first.
Definitely. Yeah, it's all one. It all comes across. It's all energy and meeting with clients. I mean, they're all interconnected. You can't have one without the other.
So can you dive into that just a little bit and kind of tell us how those two are connected?
Definitely. So a couple of things I should say. One, I felt like sales covered a lot of different things. It wasn't just business. So when we talk about how to express benefits, how to answer objections, how to negotiate, those are skills that we use everywhere. We use them with work. We use them with family. We use them in relationships. We use them in job interviews. And so I felt like there was a way to add to all of those skills through the morning routine. And so I just wanted a way to directly connect the two. So when we get talking about savers in a little bit, which is the routine, it's all about making ourselves more available to what's out there through silence and affirmation, visualization, all of these things that just make us perform at a higher level. And performing at a higher level in life is not drastically different from performing at a higher level in business. It's maybe just a different focus.
You know, the byline for this program is build a better business by building a better you, right? So it always starts inside of us, doesn't it?
It definitely does, yeah. And so two things that we looked at when talking about sales are, one, you're looking at the value that you're adding for your clients. And so making sure that you are amazing at what you do. And so that clients are going to return and refer business to you by being the best and always seeking to add value for them. That was the first part. And so part of that is directly connected to you and how developed are you, not just as a person, but in your business, in the product that you're offering or the service that you're offering.
Yeah, you can't really add value to somebody else until there's value inside of you, right, to give.
Exactly. Yeah, Dave, we're speaking the exact same language, definitely. And then the second part of that was sales, which is you can be the best at anything. You can be the best artist or web designer or attorney or doctor, but if you don't have any clients to add value to, then where's your opportunity to add value in the world? And so that was the second part that was really important, is how do we make it a focus to grow the business, not just for the sake of growing the business, but so that we can affect more people as we have the ability to offer that value.
So when you're thinking about the connection between a morning routine, the 5 a.m. miracle or the miracle morning, and sales. How does starting our day? I know it gives us more energy. It gives us more focus. What are some of the other things that morning routine is going to bring to our day that's going to help us?
Well, a couple of things. One, you just named a couple of them, but I think what happens is we overlook how important things like that are to business, right? People, and there's a whole section where you and I could talk about energy and how it affects sales, but energy is one of the key components to any interaction that we have with anybody. I mean, if whatever energy you're bringing to the table is going to transfer, and so those simple things are important. It brings clarity, so it gives some space for people to think about their business instead of working on it all or in it all the time. That they get a chance to work on it and sort of step outside the role of just running and being the business and actually figuring out, like, how do I drive it? Where's it going next? And so it opens up that opportunity. I think it makes us better problem solvers, definitely, because we're not putting out fires all the time. We're ahead. We can pre-plan for things a little bit better. And so those are some of the things. I mean, confidence, a huge piece of it is just building confidence personally, which definitely comes across in every one of your business interactions.
Yeah, confidence comes from knowing that I've built something inside that I can be confident in. I mean, confidence is not just something, fake it till you make it kind of a thing, right? You've got to. I mean, confidence comes from knowing I've got the goods inside that I can go out and deliver. Definitely,
yeah. And I think that's true both personally and in business. I mean, that's where all of these things just sort of correlate one over the other. Just like you had mentioned before, is that, yes, I want to have confidence personally, right? I want to have confidence in who I am and what my message is. But the same thing rings true for your business. How confident are you in your brand and what you say you're going to deliver for people? And how often are you questioning that and making sure, like, how are we consistently increasing the value that we bring to our clients and our prospects?
So what was life like for you before you read The Miracle Morning, before you connected with Hal and realized the value of a morning routine? Were you a morning person to begin with, or how did kind of diving into this whole idea of a morning routine change life for you?
So I think it's fair to say that some people would have called me a morning person, but I would have just, at the time I was a teacher and building a sales career at the same time. So I was a morning person because I had to be, because work started early. I think what it's given me is a much bigger perspective on the importance of taking time for self. So I'm a guy who started in sales, became a teacher, started having kids. I'm married with 3 kids now. And so when the financial burden of kids and all the opportunities I wanted to provide for them started to raise their head, I needed to step it up a notch. And so teaching was on its own was not an opportunity for me to be able to do that. And so I moved back into sales, and I'm in the real estate realm now, and I've spent the last 5 or 6 years here. And so I run a sales team and an office and have the book and do seminars and training and coaching for people and have 3 kids. And so what it's given me is the opportunity to learn the importance of spending time on developing myself and being able to prioritize where I need to put my time, energy, and efforts in order to be able to add value in all those areas without stretching myself too thin. And I think the process of going through the morning routine has allowed me to do those things. And then doing those things has also forced me in a way to improve my morning routine regularly so that I can take on more and more without watering any of it down.
On the next episode, we're going to get into some of the specifics. You call it a SAVERS routine, which is an acronym, and we'll get into more of that on the next episode. But I kind of want to I think one of the advantages of a morning routine, beyond the breathing and the visualizations and the exercise and all the different things that go into a morning routine, one of the advantages that it brings is it helps us become more mindful of our day and become more intentional about our day and about our business, right? So we take time not just to run the business, but to think about the business and how to strategize for the future of our business.
Exactly, yeah. So a couple things that I would say, we're going to talk a little bit too towards the end about managing time and money, I think is one of the topics we had talked about. And so definitely it allows for more perspective, right? It allows for time to look at the calendar and say, am I spending my time in the most effective and opportune ways? And by doing that, it creates other opportunities too. It continues to build on itself in that by spending more time doing those things and figuring out, am I spending my time in the right areas to build sales and to create revenue? Revenue then in itself allows you to build faster. It allows you to speed growth by adding leverage. And so when you can take that step back and look and think more clearly, you can ask yourself, hey, where do I need to invest some of this newfound revenue in systems and tools and people? And these investments are actually going to grow your business at an even faster level than just the morning routine. And so I think because it continues to expand exponentially on itself, you start to see growth that you wouldn't have even been able to fathom a few years ago. And you start dreaming bigger about what's possible for you, and some of your limiting beliefs start to go away. And there's just a whole bunch of doors that open up because of the morning routine, definitely.
So as we close this episode today, I know you've got a tip for us, and I love the idea of this tip. I hadn't really thought about it in this way, but you want us to isolate one area of our life or our business, and you talked about making investments to help you grow faster. Can you kind of explain what you want us to do today?
I think a lot of what people do when they consider spending money back into their business is they consider it exactly that. They consider it an expense. And so what I want to challenge people to do is look at it as an area to invest, in that it shouldn't be an expense when you're looking specifically at how can I utilize this money or this person, if it's leverage or a hire that you're making, as a way to increase and grow my business. And so as a business coach, I would always tell somebody that they should be looking for a 3 to 5 times return on their investment when they're investing back in their own business. And then we need to measure and hold that piece accountable and say, am I getting the return that I expected in order to keep making that investment in my business?
I think a key component of that is just transitioning from the word spend to invest, right?
Definitely.
So because so many of us were like, oh, I need to do an advertising campaign, but I don't want to spend the money. But instead, we invest the money, make sure that we're doing it in such a way that it's going to get us that 3 to 5 return on investment, but to think of it in terms of an investment in the future as opposed to some sort of budget line item or I don't want to spend the money.
Total mindset shift, definitely.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, thank you for being with me today. I'm looking forward to the next episode as we get into the actual morning routine and how it can create just massive momentum for us. So I'm looking forward to it. Thanks again for being here.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, Dave.
That's Ryan Snow. He is co-author, along with Hal Elrod, of the book, The Miracle Morning for Salespeople, the fastest way to take yourself and your sales to the next level. And one does not come without the other. That's what I love about this message from Ryan. So if you want to pick up a copy of the book, there's a banner ad on the website. Look for it on the right side of the page when you go to onesimplethingonline.com. You can also go to the show notes for today's program, which is episode 561, and you'll see that very same banner on the top of the show notes page as well. Either way, it'll get you to Amazon, where you can pick up your copy of The Miracle Morning for Salespeople from Ryan Snow and Hal Elrod. Thank you for listening today. If you've got any thoughts, questions, comments, whatever, I'd happy to have you email me. You could send them to dave@onesimplethingonline.com. That's what the number 1 in there, dave@onesimplethingonline.com. My text number, 615-436-2626, if you'd like to shoot me a text message as well. Thanks for listening. I'm Dave Kirby, and I'll talk to you again next time here on the One Simple Thing podcast.